Your property tax bill is either about to surprise you or it's already freaking you out. Either way, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly what your property taxes are, how they're calculated, how your home's value was determined, what you can do to fight it if you think that it's wrong, and a program that could completely freeze your taxes if you're a senior. I'm Matthew Parsons, Knoxville real estate expert, and this is everything that Knox County residents need to know about the recent appraisals, assessments, and taxes. So let's begin with what are property taxes. Property taxes are what you pay to fund a local government, your schools, fire department, roads, law enforcement. And here's the thing, compared to most places in America, Knox County residents are still getting a pretty good deal. So, to give you an idea, the national median property tax is around 1% of home value per year. Knox County's effective tax rate runs well under that. One of the reasons that people keep moving here from New York, California, Michigan. In fact, let me give you an example from my own personal life. I moved here from Michigan in 2004. At the time, I was living on the edge of Detroit in a 900 square foot home, and I was paying $2,400 a year in taxes. Now, my Knox County home, much bigger, and it's 20 years later, and guess what? My taxes still aren't at that level. So, how is your home's value determined? Let's talk about the difference between appraisal and assessment because they're not the same thing. Appraisal is market value. Basically, it's what your home would sell for on the open market today. Assessment is the taxable value. In Tennessee, residential property is assessed at 25% of that appraised value. So, if your home is appraised at $400,000, your assessed value is $100,000. That's the number that the taxes are calculated on. Okay, so how does the assessor figure out your appraised value? Knox County used roughly 12,000 qualified sales from across the county to set values. They look at what homes actually sold for in your neighborhood, disqualifying things like family sales or government sales, and they find the median. Then they apply that to your home. So here's the formula. Once you know your assessed value, it's assessed value times the tax rate equals the annual tax bill. The current Knox County tax rate is 1.554 per $100 of assessed value. So, if your appraised value is $400,000, your assessed value is $100,000. You multiply that by 0.01554. That gives you your current county tax bill. It comes out to basically $1,554 a year for a $100,000 assessed value. Now let's talk about the 40% break-even point. Here's what most people don't understand, and it's the single biggest thing that I want you to hear. If your home's assessed value went up 40%, your tax bill will be almost exactly the same as last year. Why? Because when assessments go up countywide, the state requires the county to bring its tax rate down to stay revenue neutral. They can't profit from a reappraisal. Again, hear that again. They can't profit from a reappraisal. The rate dropped from $2.12 down to $1.55 back in 2022. That's the mechanism. So if your home went up 40%, you break even. If your home went up 60%, yes, your taxes go up, but not dollar for dollar. If it doubled, you might pay $400 more a year, not double your old bill. In fact, Knox County Assessor Phil Ballard has stated that he believes that the new tax rate will drop from $1.55 per $100 all the way down to 96 cents per $100. This would happen in August, and then it will be voted on or approved by the Knox County Commission. The new tax rate and your new tax bill would then go into effect in October. So let's talk about how you can calculate your own tax bill right now with two numbers from your assessment notice. First, find your appraised value on your notice. You're going to multiply it by 0.25. You're then going to multiply that number by 0.01554 for county taxes. Those are your current rates and current taxes. To figure out what they will be, we do need to do some guesswork on what the new tax rate will be. We'll go with what Assessor Ballard has said and use 96 cents per $100. So find your appraised value on your notice, multiply it by 0.25, and then multiply that number by 0.0096 to get your new county taxes. Or you can use the online calculator at property.knoxcounty.org. If you live inside Knoxville city limits, you'll also have a separate city tax bill. The city and county bill separately, so don't be surprised when two notices end up showing up at your door. Also, if your taxes are in escrow through your mortgage, your lender adjusts your monthly payment to cover the new amount. You'll get an escrow analysis letter from them, so don't ignore it. Okay? And then also, early payment tip. The city of Knoxville offers a 1% discount if you pay city taxes in full by the end of October. So, here's how to appeal your assessment. If you think your assessed value is wrong, you have the right to appeal, and the assessor's office actually encourages people to do it. So here's what you need to know. The appeal process in Knox County has multiple levels. First, there's an informal review. You contact the assessor's office directly. You can go online at this point. That's the only way that you're going to be able to do it. And they've corrected mistakes before and are willing to look at them. The next step is the Knox County Board of Equalization. This is an independent 3-member board appointed by the county commission. They are not the assessor. Your case gets a fair hearing. Then there's the State Board of Equalization. If you're not satisfied at the county level, you could take it to the state. But here's the thing. Have an actual case before you appeal. The board can look at your value and go one of three ways. They can lower it, they can keep it the same, or they can actually raise it if they think the evidence supports that. So before you walk in angry, ask yourself, what have comparable homes sold for in your neighborhood since January 1st of the reappraisal year? Listen, we are seeing appraisals that are $150,000 or more off of what actual home sales in particular neighborhoods have been. So I can help you out with that. Definitely reach out. So the appeal deadline is May 29th online. If you want to have me pull comps for you before you appeal and also provide them for you in PDF format, let me know. I can help you out with that. Now, also, listen, if you have a senior citizen in your family, they need to know about this. This is one of the most underutilized programs in Knox County, the Senior Property Tax Freeze. If you're 65 or older and meet the income housing, you can lock in your property tax bill at whatever it is when you first qualify. It doesn't matter if values go up. It doesn't matter if the county raises the rate. Your bill is frozen. Here are the current details for Knox County. You must be 65 or older by December 31st of the tax year that you're applying for. Your combined household income from all sources, you, your spouse, all property owners, must be under $61,920. It applies to your primary residence only and up to 5 acres of land. You must apply every single year. If you miss a year and your tax goes up to market value, then when you reapply, it freezes at the higher amount going forward. This is handled through the Knox County Trustee's Office, not the assessor. So contact them or email them. Applications are typically open October through early April. Here are a few more things Knox County residents should have on their radar. The county commission can raise the tax rate any year, not just the reappraisal years. If they need more revenue for schools or infrastructure, they can do it with proper public notice. The public can show up and speak. Elected officials often pay attention in those circumstances. All right, and this is really right. People like candidates like Betsy Henderson, this is what they're running on. No new taxes, no tax increase. Does affect your home's value, what you should be paying, or you're thinking about buying or selling in this market, give me a call or text at 865-761-9797 or visit MatthewParsonsHomes.com.